She wants to get the shading right. I gotta tell y'all the difficulties of being white and black. We have to find that medium, so we both fit in the picture right. See, I'm taking on more of an albino Ben Affleck role right now.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Lashawnda.
And I am the Mike.
Oh, my God. And today, we are going to be talking about something that is very commonly asked on both ends, and that is what it's like dating outside of your race. So, interracial relationships, having that type of experience. So, we have a ton to talk about in reference to this because, in case you didn't realize, I'm black and he's white.
I know. It's surprising. I know.
And so I want to share our experiences. He has more experience than I do with interracial dating. He's my first white boy. But I'm not his first black girl. So we're going to talk about that. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Nah, I'm going to let you start.
You want me to start?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So being in an interracial relationship is different. It's different, but you don't really think about it on a day-to-day basis, if that makes sense. So it's like one of the biggest concerns I had being in an interracial relationship was, the looks, or like if someone was going to say something, because when we first got in a relationship, I want to say Trump was president. Wasn't he the president at the time? And it was a lot of issues going on when he was in the office. Yeah, like it was a lot. And so people had become really bold in what they believed in. And so I was like, if somebody come up to us and say something like, how is this gonna go down? Because people was like trying it, in those days. So that was really my only concern. I knew that if I decided to get in an interracial relationship, that I would have to be attracted to the person that I was with, because just preference reasons. And so with Michael, on a day-to-day basis, I don't think about the fact that he's white. He does show little things that remind me, like this fan in the corner, because he swears it's hot in here, even though it's not.
It's hot.
Like, I believe his version of it feels good is like 58 degrees in the house.
No. It's Florida weather up here. It is not. So he gets hot really easily. And I don't know if that's just a him thing. Yeah. But I know black people tend to get cold easier. So, I don't know. But you go ahead, because you have more experience than I do. So that is definitely the truth. As far as the hot and cold thing, man,
we have big issues with that.
For instance, at night I'll hold her, but I'll have to have like the blanket open on my backside so the fan can keep me cool enough to hold her.
He sleeps with 2 fans on. 2. Tell me I'm lying. He sleeps with the ceiling fan on, and he has his own personal fan that stays on his side of the bed that he has to sleep with. Like, come on.
Oh, I got one for y'all. The wash rag.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't care. I know some of y'all out there.
Let's talk about the wash rag.
Yeah. So I didn't know. Okay. So the first time I come up here, right? I come up here to spend the night at her apartment. We had been dating for a little while. Whenever I got to spend the night at her apartment. Anyhow, so we get to the apartment. She's like, "I got a towel for you and a washcloth." So, I go in the bathroom. The way I was raised, maybe it was my family, I don't know. We didn't use a washcloth. We just kind of washed our bodies down with our hands and stuff like that. So I left the washcloth on the counter, and I used the towel whenever I was done. And it baffled her.
It did. It still baffles me to talk about it. So I remember I went in the bathroom, and you know how you don't do it intentionally, but like when you have guests over and you give them a towel and a rag, you're gonna kind of side eye him if you look on the side and that towel and rag had been touched. Like, what did you do in here? You know? And so I noticed that the rag hadn't been touched, and I'm like, how did you wash your ass? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand because he didn't have like a loofah or anything. And I was raised when we use rags. We use bath or washcloths, I will say, washcloths. And so I had to ask, I'm like, so how do you wash? And he was just like, oh, with my hands. I'm like, I was gonna say, what? I didn't understand. I didn't understand. And I'm like, what do you mean you use your hands? I'm like, how do you exfoliate? Like, how do you get the dead skin off and like, you know, like, and he's just like, oh, I just use my hands. No. So this is what we're not going to do. We're not going to do this. And so I got him a loofah. So I'm like, you got to use something because he didn't like the washcloth thing. Like, that wasn't him. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to use a loofah then. Okay. So that was definitely the first big difference that I noticed when we got together.
That's one. Now, I
just put himself out there. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we're going to be honest about this, aren't we, guys? So listen.
I'm entertained.
Okay. So I don't typically stereotype, but sometimes, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so the white part of me. I'm definitely the type of person, if I hear noise, I'll go investigate. That's me. I don't care. I'll jump out there with a baseball bat. I don't care. Her and the kids are scary about everything. If the ice maker makes noise, that's what
we all do.
They'll be in mid-conversation. I'm like, Mike, when I tell... What was that?
We do.
All the time. And I'm just like, oh my God.
We do. We don't play those games, okay? And then sometimes I remember in the house when we moved here, like there would literally be a noise that was unexplained. And we'll be like, well, I can't say we, because the kids would be in their room, but like I'll be talking to him and we'll hear the unexplained noise.
Oh yeah, let the wind flap the
oh my God.
The siding of the house. Let that happen.
I'm frozen in time. Like, what was that? You know, yeah. And normally you don't feel comfortable going about your business until you understand what the noise was. He'll just be like, oh, well, who knows? I don't really know. I'm like, you ain't bothered that you just heard that? We don't know what it was?
Oh, or try to go camping.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Everything.
Ain't no way.
Hey, I'll tell you another time that I feel really white, too. I'm not even going to lie to you. When I go to the grocery store, I'll get them, you know, groceries and stuff like that. And every time I pick up a bag of trail mix, I start laughing. Because I'm the only one in the house that'll eat trail mix. Or mayonnaise, mind you.
I think that's just a male thing, though. Because I don't know a woman that eats mayo. Like, that is just nasty. Like, who's putting mayo on their stuff? Because if you put mayo on my stuff, I'm sending it back. Okay? I don't want no mayo. What else?
I can swim.
Yes, he can swim. I don't know how to swim.
We're working on it. And hiking.
We're working on it, okay?
I'm trying to teach
Let me tell you. So, okay, since we put stuff out there, right? he's basically saying like that we have different ideas of what a vacation is. Okay? Because he likes the idea of going camping. He likes the idea of going to get a cabin in the woods.
Right.
And doing that, like...
Doing that?
I'm like, there's bears. Like why?
Oh my God.
There's bears. Like, why am I going camping somewhere where there's random bears walking up and down in the woods?
God forbid a pine cone falls.
I mean... Ooh. No service, no reception.
If a pine cone was to fall, they'd look like a Jesus lizard coming across.
Like, so he wanted us to go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
I like Pigeon Forge.
This was like his end-all, be-all trip for us. They
had a Titanic experience. Her favorite movie in the world is Titanic, so.
He wanted us to go to Pigeon Forge. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I know some black people that like to go to Pigeon Forge. I'm not one of those black people. Right? I had no desire to go to Pigeon Forge. I let my kids go to Pigeon Forge with my mom and my sister and like some other family members. And this was before I realized how deadly freaking bears were. Like I hadn't really hit that reality. I don't know why. Like I knew they existed, but I didn't know they were just like walking up and down the street in Pigeon Forge and by the cabins and stuff. And so, because if I had knew that, they wouldn't have went. But I digress. So he wants to take us on a vacation in Pigeon Forge, so we go to the Titanic experience. Okay. Don't forget that this is during the time, or well, maybe it wasn't during the time. This was after Trump. Just a little bit though. I think Biden had just won, if I'm not mistaken. And so we get to the strip, and I'm looking like, I don't feel like I belong here. I don't feel like I belong here because Confederate flags everywhere. Confederate flags everywhere. Okay? On the cars, in the stores, everywhere. Right? And if that wasn't scary enough, all the white people looking at us like how they looked at Django when he was riding on the horse in the movie. Like, who this nigga on this horse?
We went in Longhorn, I'm not gonna lie. And everybody was looking at us like, what in the hell?
What y'all doing here? Like, you ain't get the message outside? You don't belong here.
You're looking at me like, hey, bro, she one of them.
Yeah. Yes. Not the best experience, okay? Because we go to the gas station. We about to be on the way back home.
Yeah.
And we go to the gas station. Michael's like, I'm going to go in and pay for the gas real quick. He gets out of the car and starts walking towards the gas station. And he didn't realize a truck, one of them good old boy trucks, pulled up beside us. And the man is mean mugging the heck out of me the entire time he's walking in the store, right? Like, what you doing in here? What you doing over here?
Get it.
Yeah. And so when Michael came back, I'm like, dude just like mean mugged the heck out of me the entire time he was walking to the store, right? He looks at us on the way out and everything. Like, get up out of here, you know? And then on the way back, we finally leave. Now, I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed myself with what was given to me. Okay, the Titanic experience was great. You know, we got to eat good food. You know, the experience with my spouse was great. But outside of that, I wouldn't have felt comfortable. Okay? And so on the way back, we're riding through mountains. And he's loving it. He's like, oh my God, we gotta do this again. This is so great. Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. Oh my God, you see these mountains? They're so great. There's no one. Like, there's no one of my color, complexion.
And she's worried about rock slides and stuff like that.
We, like, for real, and I've never been to the mountains. So it's like, you know, we're going through these mountains. I don't see nobody that look like me, right? We see the most redneck type of trucks and just random cars, Trump people. And then we pass 5,100 churches on the hills. Like, not the churches that make you feel comfortable. These are the churches that make you wonder where you are. Like, are y'all going to hang us? Now, like, are y'all going to burn us? Like, where are we right now?
She's so dramatic. But now, I will say...
I'm not being dramatic.
there was a strip. And... I think it was in like 4 miles. There was like 13 churches.
It was a lot of churches.
I've never seen that before, and I've seen, you know, I've been a lot of places, but I'm telling you guys, like probably one every 2 blocks. We were
like at the churches where, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Carrie, where her mama was like a Bible thumper, like, and everything was going to hell. Like, we were in one of those type of territories. That's what I felt like. And then we finally went to a restaurant called Highway 55. And we walk, and if you've ever been to Highway 55, Highway 55 is like Steak and Shake. Like, you know how Steak and Shake has like the old vibe type thing? It's like that. And when I tell you, I felt like we was in the 1950s, the way these people was looking at us, we walked in. I swear they stopped the music and everything.
Oh my gosh.
They was just looking at us like...
Yeah, they were.
did y'all just walk in here like y'all just run this? Like, what? Do you know where you are? You know? But anyways, that's the only time I've ever felt uncomfortable in our relationship. In Charlotte, you see interracial relationships on a normal basis. Like, it's not a big deal to see interracial relationships. And if we want to keep on with the story times, okay, let's talk about the time he wanted to take me to Georgia to meet his family. And I thought that we were on another episode of Get Out. Let's talk about that. You want to talk about that?
So we went out to the country. Now keep in mind, I grew up in Georgia for the most. I was born in Florida, but I grew up in Georgia for the most part. And where I come from, there's no traffic lights and none of that stuff. It's country boy, you know. So that's what I grew up as. Well, anyhow, I took her over to a friend's house, and they were out there doing a oyster roast.
See, he ain't telling it right. So you can tell how unscared he was based on how he's telling it. Nah, we ain't even. So you heard how he just told it, right? So let me tell you how it really happened. Because, see, he got me messed up.
Here she goes.
Okay, so he wanted to take me to Georgia to meet his family. Now, granted, I knew it was the country because of what he had told me before. And I tried to prolong going for a long time because I already knew what I was getting myself into. And at this point, I wasn't sure, like, how this was going to go down, okay? So, I don't remember why we ended up having to go to Georgia, but he needed to go there and get, like, a tag for his car. So, I don't remember. But we ended up going to Georgia, and he kind of sucked me into going, too. And I'm like, okay. Everybody wants to meet me, and I'm like, okay. So, we go up there. And at the beginning, it was okay. Like, we met a couple of his family members, and it was daylight. So, at the beginning, it was okay. Oh, my God. It was okay. But it got dark, and he wanted me to go and meet one of his other family members. This family member had, like, gave us some money to get this house, and, you know, like, they were really trying to, like, help bless our relationship and stuff like that.
He was a blessing.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can't not meet this person. Like, this person showed up for us, you know? Now, it's dark. Now, first of all, I don't have reception on my phone the entire time we're there. The entire time we were in Georgia, I didn't have reception. And this, in any black person's mind, is a hell of a red flag. Because, well, I won't say red flag. It's like you're on alert because you're like, your life is in the hands of who you're with right now because you don't have a signal, okay? So we're driving, and he's using a GPS to get to this guy's house, and I'm noticing, like, there's no street lights. And then there's, like, one house for every mile. And it's just, like, woods and land. And woods and land and no street lights, right? So I'm, like, having anxiety in my mind, like, where is he taking me? I don't understand what's going on. And so we finally get there. Now, I'm already terrified by this point because we done drove for 30 minutes with no street lights, one house per mile. And I'm like, if I need to get out and run, I'm going to be screwed. Like, who house I'm going to run to? The one house per mile? Like, so we pull up, and granted, the house is not visible from the street. You have to turn on another street, and there's woods surrounding this house. And you have to turn into the middle of the woods to a gravel driveway and drive all the way up to the house. Right? So we driving up to the house. He laughing. But I'm serious.
So dramatic.
Now, remind you, it's dark. So there's no street lights in the woods. We're driving through these woods, and all you see is his headlights. And then you drive up to this house, right? And there's like 6 men standing around this big life-size looking pot that's like this tall. Like, literally, the men are standing up, and the pot is like right here to them, right? And they're all standing around this pot outside. We are outside, and they're standing around this hot boiling pot because you can see the smoke coming out of it. When I tell you, my heart sunk. My heart sunk. And they're all looking at me. They don't know I'm black. Like, the dude know I was black. But these 6 people that stand outside don't know nothing about us coming and me being black. Okay? So they're all staring at us while we're in the car. And Michael knew it looked the way it looked because he was like, yo, we're definitely not staying here long. Who are these people? Like, he knew he was coming. And I'm like, do I want to get out the car? Is it wise for me to get out the car? So we get out the car. I'm like this.
She really was.
I'm like this to him. Cause it's just me and you, dog.
She looking at me like, they ain't cooking me.
It's me and you, dog. Okay? And so we walk in the house. He's trying to give us a tour of this new house he done got. I'm not interested. I'm ready to go. Okay?
He was, I'm not gonna lie, he was proud. I was proud for him. But given the situation,
I was terrified.
She was terrified.
So long story short, we ended up leaving, and we got up out of there. Like, and then at the end when we were finally leaving, we're driving back down the scary road, right? The get out road, right? And we come to GPS wants us to go on this like grass like road.
No, it was a dirt road.
It was a dirt road.
It was trying to take us back to another town, but it was trying to give us a shortcut through a dirt road.
It was a dirt road, but it had tall grass on both sides. So it looked like you were finna drive into a field. That's what it looked like.
She wasn't having that.
This dude acting like he finna go through the dirt road. I'm like, have you not ever watched any scary movie? This is where it ends. Like, we're not turning here. So we turn. Why are you laughing?
Now you see why I chose her to be mine.
We turned. I said, we're not going down that road.
She animated like this every day.
We're not going down this road. So we bust a U-turn and go another way. And when we got home, you know why this dude said he didn't go down the road? You know why he said? It wasn't because he's seen the scary movies and know that there's nothing good waiting on the end of this dirt road. It wasn't because of that. That wasn't the reason why he turned around. He turned around because he said he didn't want to get his car dirty. He didn't want his car to be dirty. So that's why he didn't go down there. That is interracial dating. Okay? That right there. Yeah. That's interracial dating. We just went on a whole story time rant.
Yeah. Honestly though, it's been such an awesome relationship though. She is an extremely animated person every day, and I love it.
We're both animated. Don't let him mistake you, okay? Because if you could see him on a daily basis and how animated he is, if you work with him, you know, okay? If you work with him and you seen his animated side, put it in the comment section because...
Yeah, also, guys, don't, go ahead and in the comment section, ask us questions. Ask, things that you want to know. If you're curious, if you are wanting to get into an interracial relationship, if you have any concerns or anything that you want to find out.
Right, because we're just rambling. So you kind of have to ask us some questions and then we'll come back with a part 2 to this video.
Right, absolutely.
What else? Is there anything else that we experienced as an interracial? You get the question all the time, was it like dating a black girl?
I do get that question a lot.
You get that question
from my friends and stuff like that. But honestly, after my friends meet her, they see real quickly why I'm in an interracial relationship. Her personality, seriously, alone is worth it. Yeah. But yeah, I do get asked that question quite a bit. And to be honest with you, this relationship is very rewarding. She loves on me more than anybody has ever loved on me, ever. Very supportive, always there for me. Just extremely amazing woman. I'm so glad to be a part of this relationship.
And for my black women out there, they do treat you like queens. They do. So, at least in my experience, because he's my first one, and he's treated me like a queen.
Yeah, I made her gravy tater tots earlier.
He did. He did. He cooks for me and the kids.
I actually enjoy cooking though, but I think I get that from my mom. My mom was she had a catering service and stuff like that.
He made sure we be fed, okay? And the way to my heart is through my stomach, and he takes care of that, okay? And it's not just the cooking thing. Like, there's other things that he does as well. And I hate to, like, I'm not trying to say that black men don't do it. I just haven't experienced it to the extent of what he does for me. So it's almost like a new sense of appreciation for your spouse that I hadn't experienced in the past.
Right, and I'm not saying that the white women that I have dated before her didn't offer me, you know, some good qualities in a relationship as well. It's just they didn't offer me, I guess, as much as what she offers me.
Yeah.
And the point in time back then, I wasn't even in a good headspace that I am now. So.
And I would encourage you, if you're curious, just try it. Just try it. And it don't even have to be about race. It could be about what your normal preference is. Because, you know, everybody has that thing where they would never even think about it. Like, nah, you know. And before, that was kind of like mine. Like, you know. But once I became optimistic and I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what is manifested to me or what is brought to me, you know, and he was brought to me and I liked what I was experiencing, and I'm glad that I was optimistic, because sometimes you just have to make that one decision to be like, you know what, let me try it, let me see, you know.
At the end of the day, man, the color thing really doesn't matter. You got to choose somebody that is good for you. You got to choose somebody that puts in as much as you put in.
Right.
Since I've been with her, she has set the bar at a point where I won't accept anything less than what I'm getting out of this relationship.
Same.
I would rather stay single if this relationship were to ever not work out.
Yeah. So that's our interracial experience. We have good experiences for the most part. I feel like our sense of humor, we both have the same sense of humor, so we crack like interracial jokes,
and not
I
only
guess.
That, but up here in Charlotte, man, we've met some great people, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are extremely accepting and have great personalities up here. So I don't even think now, whenever we go out to eat or when we go somewhere, nobody says anything.
That's because we're in Charlotte. Now, we went to Georgia. We might have a different experience.
Well, guys, look, I've enjoyed it. I'm sure my beautiful spouse has enjoyed it. And we would love to hear from you guys.
We would.
So drop a like, subscribe, drop something in the comments.
And we will see you guys in our next video. Bye.